I'm here at the start of the Farmington Canyon Trail. This is one of my favorite hikes. In fact, I was reluctant to make this video because it's kind of a not that well known of a trail, and you can hear the water running below me. In the spring, the runoff is really impressive. You can see it right there. Often overlooked. Right in the beginning of the trail, there is a cave up there. Local kids like to go up there and party and vandalize what a beautiful canyon we have. But that cave's kind of interesting. You can get to it relatively easy. In fact, maybe I'll run up real quick. Here we have the cave. You can see a bunch of idiots have spray painted and vandalized it. Often you come up here and find fire pits. I've seen people basically base camp out of here. Kind of a neat little feature to this hike. Here is one of the first lesser falls. It only happens when there's a lot of runoff. It'll dry up pretty fast. You can just see the crazy amount of water that is coming down the canyon right now. This is a lot of water for this canyon. It's been a wet year and there is so much water. It's actually really cool to see. I've been trying to get some video of the sage lizards that I've been seeing all over the place. They're just a little too fast for me and a little too skittish. I've also spooked I think a gopher snake and a squirrel so far. Unable to get footage of any of them, but they're up here. Here is a little runoff stream, and right above it you can see that there is bushes, raspberries. This is a great section. If the raspberries come into season, you'll see deer here a lot. This trail has sections and sections and sections of just wildflowers. This section is leading up to the second lesser falls. And that is the lesser falls of Farmington Canyon. Only during this time of year does it rage like this. The rest of the time, it's pretty passive, if not at all. Somebody put a tire in here years ago, and there's a nice stone path to get across. I don't know what this rock is called. I've always referred to it as the monolith. It's about 1 mile into the trail looking down. One of the really interesting pieces of this hike is that there's a few cars that have come down the canyon, 50, 60 years ago and ended up here. Above this trail is part of Skyline Drive, and I'd really like to know the history of this car. Was it pushed off? Was it a suicide? What happened? I've wondered since I've been hiking here for the last 25 years, and I'll probably never know, but it is very neat, and there's a couple of them. There's an engine block around here somewhere. I have to find it. Here is the engine block I was talking about earlier. It's quite a ways up from the other car, and I believe it came from this car. Also, the car I would like to have the backstory on. We're high enough elevation now that we're getting into the pine trees. This is a section I refer to as the knuckle. It kind of doubles back on itself. Usually there's almost no water in here, not enough to worry about, but the flow is definitely higher in the spring. And here you have yet another set of lesser falls at the knuckle. Very pretty. I like to sit here and get my hair wet. There's also some camp spots up here that people will camp at. And right here we have Farmington Falls. There's probably a real name for this, but I've always known it as Farmington Canyon Waterfall. So if somebody knows what it is, or I'll try to find out later, I'll look it up and post it. It's pretty sketchy to get down to it. I don't recommend it. I'm going to slowly work my way down to it and I'll get some video. Again, I don't recommend anybody doing this. I've done it a lot, so I feel comfortable with it. There is a staggering amount of water coming off of them, so it's going to be real careful and just go real slow. Such an unbelievable amount of water coming off, and it's like a swamp cooler right here. So much water. Again, I don't recommend coming down that field. It's wet, it's slick, and full of loose dirt, but okay, we made it back out. There's a little rope that comes up this runoff. It works, but it is dangerous. Up to here, down to the waterfall and back, about 1.67 of a mile. You can make this hike as strenuous or as easy as you like. That's what I love about it. I often trail run up here, but this is just a good one. The trail actually continues on up to some campgrounds and splits off in a couple different directions. I'll do another video on this later. So there you have it, Farmington Canyon Falls. If you like our channel, please subscribe. We'll be adding more hikes, more locations, more bike rides, all sorts of stuff in this great state.